In light of the UK announcing its opportunities for BNO passport holders, we have found interest has particularly spiked from people looking to purchase family homes in the UK. The mansions at Wimbledon Hill Park offers a very beautiful and leafy rural setting within the London boundaries. And as such, I would like to now kindly welcome Danny to introduce himself and the mansions. Welcome, Danny.
Thank you, Ian. Good evening and good afternoon, everybody at home. First of all, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us. This is our third webinar with Sky Vantage, and by all accounts, the most successful in terms of interest so far. Jessica, really a fantastic presentation. Thank you so much for your time today. It was really informative, and I think everybody at home would really benefit from it. So from my perspective, I look after Berkeley St Edward, which is one sector of the Berkeley Group, and I currently look after 4 active developments throughout the Berkeley portfolio. I look after Green Park Village, which is in Reading, where we've already hosted a couple of webinars already promoting the benefits of buying into that location, predominantly due to schooling and also easy access into London. I also look after a development in Fleet in Hampshire, which is a mixed use scheme of a regeneration plan, 1,500 units in total, houses and apartments, commercial, a lot more rural, but equally as good access into central London, a lot more family orientated development. I also look after 2 schemes which are coming up to a conclusion now, which is Richmond Chase. We're just about to exchange on our last property this week down there, which has been a fantastic scheme, backing onto Richmond Park, and also Chiswick Gate, which we're now down to our last 3 apartments on the scheme there. So they're coming up to a conclusion. But what I'm really excited to present to you today is the final edition, really, of Wimbledon Hill Park, which has been running now for about 5 years within the group. We have an offering of new build apartments located just outside Wimbledon Village, but we have a short video to play to you today, and that hopefully will give you information and a bit of a feel towards the development. Myself and Trish are on hand to answer any questions that you have specifically about the development or just general feedback about the current market in the UK, but we can deal with those at the end.
Okay, so if you don't mind, I will now play the video that you've kindly prepared for us today.
And welcome to the Mansions, the definition of elegant living. The Mansions is the final phase of apartments at Wimbledon Hill Park, in one of the most desirable areas of London. The Mansions is made up of 75 homes, situated within 19 acres of glorious green park. These stylish contemporary homes feature a residence gym, a private cinema, and concierge service. We also offer a private gated secure underground parking and courtyard gardens for our residents to enjoy. Wimbledon has a distinctive village charm, which is a pleasure to explore and discover. With many cafes and restaurants, it's the perfect community to enjoy spending time with friends and family. The boutique shops are a delight. You'll find everything from fresh food markets to sought after high street brands, which are only a short journey away. Wimbledon has everything you can ask for. It is also famous for the Wimbledon Tennis Club, which is situated close by, along with many other outdoor facilities. The Mansions is conveniently located to central London with easy access via car or public transport. You can be shopping in Knightsbridge, dining in Mayfair, or watching the show in the West End within an hour of leaving from your home. Wimbledon Station is served by National Rail and the District Underground line, and offers good access into central London and the southwest of England. The Mansion is also close to the A3, allowing quick access into London Heathrow in 34 minutes by car and Gatwick Airport in 48 minutes by car. The Mansions is conveniently located for West London's best schooling. Ursuline High School, All School Wimbledon, both rated outstanding by Ofsted, are all located within a 5 minutes drive from the development. The area is also well served by private schools for all stages of development, with 7 prep schools and 5 secondary schools, including King's College School, which was voted best boys' school, co-educational school of the year for 2018. We currently have a mix of 1, 2, 3 and 4 bedroom apartments available and penthouses too. Prices starting from £599,950 ranging to £2,780,000. We currently have 2 show homes on the development, a beautiful 3-bedroom apartment and our recently dressed 2-bedroom apartment, both located within our Paxton building. First occupancies are due to move in the 3rd quarter of this year. And if you're looking for investment, the current yields are estimated at 3.5%. Every care has been taken to ensure that each space has been uniquely designed with beautiful views. From generously sized rooms to beautiful specifications, every detail at the mansions has been considered. If you'd like to know more about this project, please contact Vanessa Zhang, Head of China Desk for Berkeley St Edward, who will be able to explain the development in more detail.
Thanks, Ian. So that gives everybody hopefully a flavour of the development and what we're delivering down the site. That film was actually filmed right at the beginning of lockdown, so there has been a couple of changes with regards to the availability and pricing. We are now down to our last 20 apartments, where we've seen actually a mass surge of interest happening since the lockdown's been lifted and since the announcement of the stamp duty holiday, which all the apartments will benefit from completing within that window and timescale. So that is all from Berkeley St Edward. Thank you for joining us. I'll hand you back to Ian now. And if you have any further questions, don't hesitate to ask them.
Thank you, Danny. And the video was very, very informative and well presented. Trish, you work at the mansions. Would you mind telling us a little bit more about the development? I do have a few questions for you. It was mentioned in the video how Wimbledon is really good for schooling. Do you know which other local schools are in the catchment area and how good are they? So Trish, I think you're on mute.
So within Wimbledon itself, we've got several schools that have outstanding Ofsted reports and excellent academic achievements. For the little ones, we have a school literally across the road called the Rowan. It's a prep school that takes children from 3 till 7. It's in a lovely large house with extensive gardens, and it's a really nice start for your children. It's also a feeder school for King's College. When you come to the primary schools, you've got several that again are outstanding. We do have an education guide in both English and Mandarin, which we can email over to you. But within that, you'll find we have Dundonald, which again is outstanding Ofsted reports, Coombe Hill Junior, Donhead Independent Boys School from 4 to 11, Ursuline High and Ursuline Prep, so that goes all the way through from 4 right through to 18. We've got the Study Preparatory School, St Matthew's and Hollymount. So you've got quite a good selection of primary schools. And then on the secondary level, we have Hall School, which is mentioned in the brochure. Ursuline High, again, outstanding Ofsted reports. Wimbledon High, which is an independent girls' school. Again, they do from junior right through to 6th form. Wimbledon College, which is a boys' state school. That particularly excels in science and maths and sport. And then obviously King's College, which is has an excellent reputation for academic excellence and was voted in the Sunday Times as the best independent school in the country in 2018. And their success rate for Oxbridge candidates is about 30% of their applicants. Going on from that, we've got higher education. We've got Roehampton University, we've got Kingston, and we're also very close to London and with good transport links. So we've got the excellent London universities like Imperial College, University College London, London School of Economics, King's, So we really are well provided for through all ages, from little ones right through to university.
Yes, it certainly sounds like Wimbledon is well equipped on the education front, and I believe our young family residents that may be interested in Wimbledon will certainly have an abundance of choice of schools. The village particularly piqued my interest as it appears to be a very lovely setting, a nice place to certainly go out to dine and shop. Is it as lovely as it appears? And
oh, it's fabulous. I mean, it gives you everything from well, from Danish restaurants serving Japanese fusion foods to gastropubs to lovely country house hotel restaurants. So, for instance, Dixon Sushi, which is a firm favourite with locals and with food critics. That serves a wide range of sushi platters and some good cocktails. French cuisine, you've got the Lawn Bistro and more casual eating in Côte Brasserie. The Lighthouse, just by the village there, offers an excellent European menu with quality and service of top London restaurants. If you prefer a country house setting, the Canizara Hotel is a lovely 5-star boutique hotel which has a lovely restaurant. San Lorenzo's going towards the village, and again it's part of the chain that was in London, is celebrated by certain members of the royal family. That's really famous for classic Italian dishes, and it's where you'll find in the Wimbledon fortnight with tennis, you'll find some of the tennis stars there and the local celebs. So that opened in 1969, and it's still one of the most favourite restaurants in Wimbledon itself. We've recently opened Megan's, which again has a Turkish influence and was voted the most romantic restaurant in a local poll. So we've got all that. You can wander up to the village on a Saturday morning and you'll see the local artisan farmers market. And then you've got lovely delicatessens like Bailey and Sage, which opened in 1997, and they do over 130 cheeses, as well as artisan bread, organic meat and fresh fish. So a foodie heaven, really. Yeah.
Certainly sounds like a place I have to visit. Will any of the homes at the mansions be falling within the stamp duty holiday period?
Fortunately, yes. Our first completions here are the end of this year, so Q4 this year, and the remaining blocks are Q1 2021. So they all come within the stamp duty holiday period.
And that's great to hear, because obviously, you know, there will be a lot of buyers out there that are looking to obviously take advantage of that stamp duty holiday.
Absolutely.
And finally, I suspect most of our viewers actually will probably be thinking about buying a home for themselves. But if they are thinking about investments, especially at the mansions, is there a local demand for the rental?
There certainly is. I mean, for some of the reasons we've already covered. So we are close to London. There's a bus directly outside the development, which goes every 6 to 8 minutes to either Wimbledon Station or to Rains Park Station. So you can be in London from Rains Park in 23 minutes. You can be in Knightsbridge from Wimbledon in under half an hour. So great transport to get into London. Schools obviously are a big attraction here, so people will rent to be in the catchment area for the excellent schools. Green space, and since lockdown we've noticed that we've had a couple of inquiries for people that are living in London or that travel extensively and don't want to live in a city environment anymore. So they're coming out here to the lovely green space, but not compromised on facilities either. So you've got the best of both worlds. You've got the green, lovely space, but you've got the lively atmosphere of the village and the facilities therein with the shopping and the food. And we've also got a proven track record of rentals in our previous phase, which have achieved really good yields, about 3.5%. So we feel very confident that it's also, as well as a lovely end user and occupier destination, it's great for investors as well.
I think that'll be certainly music to the ears of our listeners today. If you are obviously, sorry, thank you very much, Trish, for answering the questions, and obviously thank you, Danny, for introducing the development. If you are interested in learning more, please do contact our Hong Kong office through Edwina or Aaron. Alternatively, you can contact our agents here in the UK, and we would all be happy to assist you further. We will now be moving on to the Q&A session. I know that there's been quite a few questions actually coming through. We've got quite a few here for Jessica. So I'd just like to welcome Jessica back to the mic.
Yes.
Right, so we have a question here. First question will be, what will be the visa application fees for the 30-month BNO scheme visa and the 5-year BNO scheme visa?
So now the Home Office has not announced the visa application fee, but we believe that it should be around £1,000 for most visa applications in the UK. But for the immigration health surcharge, it's going to be a standard charge for all foreign nationals. It will be £624 per year per person. So if applicants are applying for 2.5 years visa, then they will pay the immigration health surcharge for 2.5 years and 5 years vice versa. Yeah.
Thank you. Next question is, the current policy document says that there will be a right to work in the UK in almost any capacity. What are the limits that will be placed upon the right to work, for those in the United Kingdom under the BNO scheme?
So I believe this will be detailed in the Home Office guidance at the later stage. However, we do not believe that this may be a huge problem for BNO citizens and their family members in terms of career choice in the UK, because, for example, for certain visa holders, for example, for investor visa, they cannot work in the UK as a doctor or dentist in training. So the Home Office may pose similar restrictions to BNO visa holders, for example, but we cannot say for sure now. But certainly this should not be a huge problem for them. And they should be able to work in almost any occupation in the UK, and they can be self-employed or start a limited company in the UK with no restrictions.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah.
The next question is, will the relevant regulations be amended to allow those present in the United Kingdom under the BNO scheme to be treated as home students for the purposes of fees for higher and further education?
Okay, so for higher education, usually they will only treat international students as home students when they have settled status in the UK. That's when they become permanent residents in the UK. And they also need to prove that they have lived in the UK for at least 3 years. So we cannot say for sure whether BNO citizens will be treated as home students, but this should be detailed in Home Office guidance at a later stage. However, I personally do not believe that they will be treated as home students. This is because they will have to pay for the immigration health surcharge, and they cannot receive state benefits before they become permanent residents in the UK. So in terms of that, I do not believe that they will be treated as home students. However, we'll need to wait for the further guidance from the Home Office. Thank you.
Thank you. Next one coming in is, when will the government issue guidance as to what BNO status holders should do if their existing leave comes to an end and there is no route for further renewal before the BNO scheme becomes operational in January 21?
Okay, so this is actually a very good question. So for BNO citizens who are already in the UK, but their visa expires before January 2021, we believe that they should be able to submit an application for leave outside the rules in the UK, because usually an application can be made online for leave outside the rules, even for people who are not British national overseas. So basically, what they will need to do is to file an application form online, and however, they will need to usually pay for the application fee. That would be £1,033 for each person, and they will also need to pay the immigration health surcharge in this case. If they need any further assistance, we should be able to help in such cases as well. Thank you.
Thank you once again. The next one actually is quite an interesting one. It's quite case specific. So there is actually kind of 4 parts to this question.
Yeah.
So firstly, he starts off with, I am a father of 3 sons. I work as a solicitor and my wife is a housewife. My youngest son will be aged 16. Eldest twin sons will be aged 18 by October 21. Both me and my wife hold BNO passports, but the 3 sons do not have BNO passports. So the first question begins with, my wife and I intend that next summer, that's July to September 21, she will apply for a 5-year BNO visa and take my 3 sons to the UK. My sons will be studying school or university in the UK, while I remain in Hong Kong to earn income for my family. Eventually, after 5 years stay in the UK, my wife and 3 sons will apply for the permanent residence to then obviously apply for British citizenship. Is this arrangement, not the whole family moving to the UK at the same time, allowed under the new BNO visa?
First of all, usually for most UK visas, if a child under the age of 18 is applying to come to the UK, both of their parents should apply at the same time. Otherwise, the application for the child will be refused. That is because the Home Office will consider the well-being of the children, and they would like both of the parents of the children to move to the UK together. Unless the children are moving to the UK with one parent, and that parent has sole parental responsibility for the child. However, we cannot really say for sure whether they will be able to apply to come to the UK only with the mother, because in certain cases, the Home Office may allow them to do so. For example, some EEA family members, they can come to the UK with only one parent, but I guess we will need to wait for further details from the Home Office in order to tell the audience specifically. And also to apply to settle in the UK, for most UK visas, children can only settle in the UK if both of their parents are already settled in the UK. Let's say, for example, the mother of the children is a settled person in the UK, but the father is have pre-settled status. The father does not have permanent residence in the UK. Then the children will have the same immigration status as the father instead of being able to apply for settlement in the UK. Yes, that's the first question.
Okay. So yeah, the second part of the question then says, after my wife does get British citizenship after 5 years plus the 2 years stay in the UK, can I go to the UK and stay with my wife to get British citizenship? What is the procedure and how long do I have to stay in the UK to get British citizenship? I'm assuming that's in relation to...
Yeah, I would like to first add something to the last question, the first question. Yeah. So my opinion is that if the father is not coming to the UK, then the children cannot come to the UK as well. But however, if they are submitting the application at the same time, let's say both of the parents are submitting a BNO visa application, then the children can have a BNO visa as well. But however, when holding the BNO visa, the father, if it's okay, I think, for him not to be in the UK for over 180 days, I do not think that he will lose the BNO visa status, just simply that they will have to wait longer in order to apply for settlement, if you understand what I mean. So let's say, for example, for the first year, if the father is not living in the UK, so after 5 years' time, they will have to renew their visa for an extra 1 year or 2.5 years. And they can only apply to settle in the UK after having lived in the UK for 5 years. But however, when both of the parents have a BNO visa, their children should be able to enter and live in the UK. So for the second question, one second. So the second question.
It was,
so,
what is the procedure and how long do I need to stay in the UK to get British citizenship?
So let's say the wife has British citizenship, and now the husband would like to apply to come to the UK. He can choose either to apply for a family visa, then he'll need to meet the English language and financial income requirement. It's sometimes quite complicated for family visas. However, he can also choose to apply for the BNO visa, and the visa should be still available for application by then. So for both visa, family visa or BNO visa, the applicant can settle in the UK for 5 years. So the time to achieve settlement is the same. So after the husband has settled status in the UK, he can apply to become a British citizen. The difference is that when you're applying for British citizenship, if you are married to a British citizen, then you do not need to wait for an extra year after you have settled status. So by the time you submit your British citizenship application, if your wife is also British, then you do not need to wait an extra year to submit the application. So that's the difference.
All right, so it cuts 1 year short, basically, from the standard procedure.
Yeah.
Right, and then we've got, after a BNO passport holder gets a 5-year BNO visa, if say in the second year, he stays in the UK less than 180 days, will his 5-year visa be revoked and he is not able to stay in the UK in the 3rd to 5th year?
Okay, so I already mentioned something about this earlier. So if, let's say, the father doesn't live in the UK for the second year for over 183 days, then I do not think that his visa is going to be revoked. He will simply experience some problems when applying for settlement. So if in the second year, he cannot live in the UK for at least half a year, then when he applied for settlement, he will need to, for example, extend his visa further for another 2.5 years. So after he can meet the residence requirement, he can then apply for settlement in the UK. So usually they will not lose their visa status. And for example, for EEA family visas, they have similar rules. If applicants do not live in the UK for the required time, they will not lose their status, but they will lose their visa status if they are outside the UK for over 2 years at a time. So I believe there will be similar requirements for the BNO visa. However, we are not saying for sure because we'll have to look at the further guidance from the Home Office at the later stage. Thank you.
And lastly, he ends up with, if a person gets a 5-year BNO visa, can he later, say 1 year later, apply for immigration to UK by way of investment, which I understand will be a shorter route to get British citizenship?
So they should be able to switch to a different visa, but this will depend on which kind of visa they are applying to, and because certain visas will allow them to apply in the UK, other applications they will have to submit in their home country. Let's say they'll have to submit in Hong Kong, for example, but they will be able to change to a different visa, basically. However, for investment visa, let's say investor visa, I have mentioned that you can settle in the UK in 2 to 5 years. If you are investing £10 million in the UK, you can settle in 2 years. If you are investing £2 million in the UK, then you will need to wait for 5 years until applying for settlement. Then basically it will be the same as the BNO visa. And for other business immigration rules as well, if you choose innovator visa, it might be faster than the BNO visa. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you once again. I've got a couple of questions as well actually coming through regarding the mansions. So the first question actually is coming through. which is what type of warranty is provided for the properties on this development. Just welcome back Danny and Trish.
It's a premier warranty, it's 10-year new build warranty. Having said that, we look after all our purchases for 2 years. So we have a handover to our customer service team, and we look after you for 2 years. So any slight snagging problems, you have a 24-hour helpline, and then you have a 10-year new build guarantee on top of that.
Yeah, so pretty standard across the board. So you are certainly well looked after purchase as well by both the NHBC as well as.
Absolutely, and we pride ourselves on our after-sales service.
If I buy now, are there any incentive provided?
Maybe Danny would like to answer that.
Yeah, I mean, this will probably be separate from the stamp duty holiday, so I think this is going to be more Berkeley Group specific.
Yeah. As a developer and as a business, we're never going to give away certain incentives, but ultimately our job as Trish and myself is to sell the properties, and we need to get a happy medium of a price where the customer's happy, our bosses are happy. So there's always going to be negotiation available. Perhaps for the stamp duty holiday in, the dealer margins and incentives were probably being considered a lot more than what they are now, where since the stamp duty holiday has been announced, there's been a lot more people willing to commit and take that purchase on board. So ultimately, we're here to sell. They're not complete yet, but our job is to try to ensure that we get the best value out of our properties. So we're never going to sell them cheaply, but we believe that our product is second to none in the market. The location's unbelievable. So yes, the short answer is, but there's nothing
written in stone. I think this question was actually briefly touched upon in the video, but this person asked, how is the transportation for the development? Are there any underground services, bus services nearby the development? And how far is the development to the public transport?
Okay, yeah, I think we covered that. There is a 200 bus that stops directly outside the development. It goes every 6 to 8 minutes. There are 2 actually on a loop. So one goes up to the village and down to Wimbledon town centre, where you have the overground and the underground and the tram. And the other one goes up towards the village, and then it goes down towards Rains Park station, where you can get the overground and be in Waterloo in 23 minutes. You could actually walk to Rains Park station, straight down from the development through the acid grasslands, turn left, turn right, and then you're at Rains Park station. So it's about 10-15 minutes max to walk to Rains Park. Wimbledon's a little bit longer. You probably hop on the bus or take an Uber or drive. And again, if you're going by car, literally at the bottom of Cops Hill, you're onto the A3, which goes one way into central London, and it goes the other way to the airports, to Heathrow and Gatwick, or into the Surrey countryside.
Okay, and how much is the service charge and ground rent, as well as how long is the leasehold for the mansions?
Okay, the service charge is determined by the size of the apartment and the density of the block. So we have 5 blocks and 57 private apartments that spread across those 5 blocks. So in Henrietta we have 28 apartments, in Pakenham we have 10, in Cowley we have 7, in Paxton we have 6, and what have I missed? And in Lanesborough we have 6 as well. So relatively speaking, service charge would be slightly cheaper in Henrietta because it's divided by 28 purchasers. However, 1 and 2 beds, at the moment the service charge tends to be between £4,000 and £6,000 a year, and the 3 beds, £6,000 to £7,000 a year. That's the estimated charge. Ground rent is anything from £450 a year for a 1 bed to £700 for a penthouse, and it's 999 years leasehold.
999-year lease. So a good length on the lease.
Absolutely.
And I think we've got time for one more question. So why should I buy or invest in the mansions?
Okay, Danny, you or me?
There's so many that we're going to argue about who's going to tell you the best. I would say in terms of an investment, the location gives you the outdoor space that a lot of people are looking for at the moment. It has all the amenities. From an overseas customer's perspective, it also has the security with the concierge there. Your investment is going to be very safe. And obviously the UK has always been considered a safe haven for money to come in from an investment perspective. The fact that it's a unique development to the location as well does enable, and we believe that the growth will be far greater on the development like this, truly because there's very little to compare it against in the location. You have a lot of large family houses, so to offer apartments in this location is quite unique. So you would have something of a unique offering when you come to sell it on, which hopefully should ensure that you not only have growth on your investment, also should be able to sell it fairly quickly. Also factoring in, as Trish mentioned earlier, you have some of the world's best schools in the location. You've got on your doorstep hundreds of different boutique shops, which adds real character. There's a lot of satellite towns in the UK that are now very similar, and they all have the same facilities and the same amenities, and there's no true character to the village, whereas Wimbledon Hill Park really does benefit from having that unique character, unique styling, and it's just a beautiful place to live in. And the fact that you can get into central London so quickly, get out so quickly, get to the airport, it's just the perfect location to buy in. So that's why we promote and believe in the product. From Trish's perspective, she probably sees a bit more of a local market buying into the development at the moment, and she's probably got different reasons to me as to why I think it's a good investment. So Trish, is there anything I can tell?
No, I think you've said it all. I mean, apart from to say that, you know, people that do live in Wimbledon that have downsized and bought here, they just don't want to live anywhere else. It's such a beautiful place to live, and it just has everything going for it. We also have a concierge 7 days a week. We have our private gym and our private cinema, but there's lots of sports facilities, you know, around the area as well. So it just ticks everything. It has everything. It's a stunning place to live.
Sorry, excuse me. I do agree. The setting certainly is attractive, and as you mentioned, it's completely different to the cosmopolitan of, you know, what you might be used to in central London developments, for example. So definitely, the location is an attractive point on the development. Sadly, this is all the time we do have for today. However, if you do have any further questions regarding any of today's topics, please feel free to contact us here at Vantage, and we'll be happy to assist you further. Once again, I would like to thank all of our panelists today. You've all been extremely helpful, useful, and informative in your presentations and answering the questions today. Once again, the link again will be sent to you by email once it has generated. But that is all for now. So I do hope you all stay safe, everyone. And until next time, goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.